Hello, my yours three. We have to talk again about, or I want to talk again about yesterday's elections in Germany, state elections in Bavaria and Hesse. And now we have the preliminary official results. The officially end result will come sometime during this month, but it will only change by a tenth of a percent perhaps. So we now know who won, who lost, and as was predictable to anyone, the CDU-CSU, the Conservatives, won both countries, and the rest, well, for the government in Berlin and its three parties, was bad, very bad. So these are two states, so I will talk about Bavaria first, because this is a special case, and I just want to get it out of the way. Bavaria is not typical for Germany, despite being the cliche of Germany for most people in the English-speaking world. In Bavaria, the CSU party of Markus Söder, the prime minister of the state, lost with 37% of the votes. This is their second worst result in their history, and it's still 2% better than the election win of their sister party in Hesse. This just shows you how strong they are traditionally there. This is a regional party. They are Bavaria in the perspective of many people there. And yeah, so 37% is a luxury loss. The governing coalition of the state, of the CSU and the Freie Wähler, that's an independent party which tends to lean very conservative, still won the election. And of note here is the Freie Wähler and their head candidate, Hubert Aiwanger, gained a few percent, which is noteworthy because during this election campaign, allegations against Mr. Aiwanger has been made that way back in the 80s, when he was still in high school, Gymnasium as it's called in Germany, he allegedly participated in the promotion of an allegedly anti-Semitic flyer. No one knows any details after this many years, and apparently many voters felt some sort of compassion, pity, or seen them as unfairly treated, and as a result of the smear campaign, they gained. The coalition in the state is re-elected. They plan to have a new government formed by the end of the month. The Freie Wähler will gain possibly 1 or 2 seats in the cabinet, and that's it. The more interesting case is Hesse. It's pretty much in the middle of Germany, not just geographically, but also very representative of the political climate in the entire country. And in Hesse, the CDU party, Christian Democratic Union, conservative leaning, has run a coalition with the Green Party. And during this election, the CDU gained a few percentage and the Greens lost a few percent. The CDU is now slightly above 34%. The Greens are slightly below 15%. The Social Democrats are slightly above 15%. And the AfD is in the same range. And all other parties left the parliament. That's the Free Democrats, the Liberals, and the outright socialist Die Linke, the left. The name literally means the left. Both went out. Of note here is that the Greens and the Social Democrats are both members of the ruling coalition Berlin. The third party is the classical liberal Free Democrats, Freie Demokratische Partei, who went out of both state parliaments. So the CDU in Hesse is now in the luxurious position that they can pick between either the Social Democrats or the Greens as a coalition partner. They have strictly ruled out any cooperation with the AfD, unsurprising, so they will probably play a strong hand in the coalition negotiations. The real thing of note here, and that will become relevant in the coming year, even during this month, is that the Free Democrats lost so bad in both elections that they failed to enter the parliament. Germany has a 5% hurdle. If your party don't get at least 5% of the votes, you're out. That's a continuation of a trend that already happened in many state and local elections during the entire tenure of this government. So far, it's pretty much the midterms here. And for the Free Democrats, that's a real problem. They have entered this government against their better judgment, and they did not really like it. And they have gained nothing in return. As far as the public is concerned, the Greens are dominating the decision making, the Social Democrats too. Both parties, in the meantime, are fighting over the second place in the German party system, and in Bavaria, the Social Democrats gain something like 8.6%. It's actually embarrassing for them. And, well, that's needs to resolve a problem for the government of Berlin. On the one hand, the Greens feel strengthened by the result and trying to take over the position of the Social Democrats. On the other hand, the Free Democrats are, well, they're facing an extinction event. So they will try to gain public recognition and come up with something notable. And so far, during the entire rule of the Scholz government, the Free Democrats couldn't really point up to any major achievement they have done that could impress their potential voters. While the Greens, Green voters might be disappointed that it wasn't green enough, but they pushed up things like, for example, a heating law that requires Germans to basically install heat pump inverter systems. It's technically complicated in their homes, something that classical liberals don't really like. They don't like state intervention, and especially not in your private home. Yeah, so there is a possibility that the Free Democrats might even leave this government coalition in Berlin. And for the very least, the leaving is a bit of an extreme opportunity, but for the very least, decision making in Berlin will now get very, very hard, and they probably won't get anything done. Not that they had done so far so good. And the party that gains the most attention here is, of course, the AfD. The really interesting thing here is that they have gained very good results in the 15 to plus % range in 2 West German states. So far, the AfD has been seen as a protest party that would attract mostly disenfranchised East Germans, but they are here to stay. And we will look what will happen with them or what they're gonna do. So, yeah, I think that's all for now, and have a nice day.